Yo, we back, man. This is part two. Thank you for clicking on this video. It's still the same date. It's about 15 minutes later. Than I told you on the last video. It's part two, man. I'm gonna finish up talking these games, breaking down the slate. Man, bad news, dude. Zach Greinke just gave up a homer to Polanco, man. He fouled one on the first pitch. He fouled one, and it was almost a home run. Same pitch. He drove it, and it stayed fair, man. Same result. The first one barely missed foul, and he got him, man. But he's still in. It looks like he's going to get through the eighth inning. They'll probably take him out for the ninth. Hopefully he gets this win. I definitely need to get the win, to get these extra points. I want one more strikeout, man. He's in the process right now. He has Mercer in a 2-2 count. So we finna watch this real quick. And then I promise I'm getting right to it, man. My internet decided to freeze up. So I'm uploading this video. So that's the perks of having AT&T. Upload speed sucks. So let's get back to business, man. Next game we have the Oakland A's versus the Texas Rangers. We have Jesse Hahn versus Andrew Kashner on the mound. Implied run total 4.4 to a 4.7. Now in this game, man, I'm looking. I wrote this down as a game stack. This is it's going to be one of the top games. I think one of the highest scoring games. That's how Vegas has it. That's how I see it. I think it'll be a really, really decent game. I don't want any other pitching. We can definitely discuss some batters in this situation. People that's catching my eye, of course, Alonso, man. He's just been hot. He's been rolling. Along with Healy, I think he's in a decent spot. Jed Lowry, I'll never talk you off a punt play like him. It seems like Fanduel will never raise his price no matter how good he does. His price will never get boosted up there, man. So I always like him. And then on Texas side, man, we seen Mike Napoli have an amazing day. I actually, in my lineup tonight, I did a bit of a Ranger stack, and I'm going to do a little bit of the same tomorrow. I'm going to give me some exposure to Nomar Mazara. I think he's in a good spot. Sensu Chu, he gave me a goose egg today. I wasn't proud of that. But I do like him tomorrow. I like Lindor. And Mike Napoli, Joey Gallo. I think all these guys are in decent spots, man. So we could definitely look towards them. Next game, we have the San Diego Padres versus the Chicago White Sox. We have Chacin versus Miguel Gonzalez. Implied run total 4.1 to a 4.5. In this game, this is not one of my game stacks. So in this game, man, I do like quite a bit of players, man. I don't think Chacin is a dominant pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. There's definitely points to be had. If you wanted to use Gonzalez, man, I wouldn't try to talk you off of him, just because the Padres strike out a lot. Now I looked at his numbers earlier. I thought his K rate would be higher than what it is. I was actually surprised, man, because he's been dealing here recently, but that K rate is still pretty low, man. It's low enough to where I don't necessarily want to use him tomorrow, because myself personally, I don't know other people's strategies, but what I like to do, I like to always have me a pitcher whose K rate is going to be on the north side, man. I definitely like to target, some of these strikeout potentials is how you have big games from your pitchers, man. So let me pull it up real quick. It's loading, man. Dude, I gotta get better internet, man. I need to go back to Comcast, but they be playing with the bill, man. Like, I get a new charge every month from them, something crazy. K rate for him is only 15.6%. which is serviceable, man. It's not good though, man. It's not anything good. But one cool thing about the MLB, man, you don't necessarily have to be a dominant strikeout pitcher to be a good pitcher. He's good at working himself out of trouble. So I think he'll be in play. And then I think that 15% we could jump that up to about an 18% since he's going up against one of the teams that strike out quite a bit in the Padres. So I like him a little bit if you want to take a chance on a pitcher you don't want to pay up. Last game he struck out 5, went 6.2 innings, got 2 earned runs. I'm sorry, y'all. I switched to my iPad, so I'm kind of blocking my computer a little bit. And I need to look at some of these numbers. And I need to plug up my computer because my battery light just came on. So let me do that. Last game, he went 6 and 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts in that one, 2 earned runs. Game before that, 6 innings, 1 strikeout. That's awful. Who was he going up against? He was going up against the Tigers in that one. Game before that, this is terrible, dude. I should have had this all worked out. Game before that, he went 8 innings, 5 strikeouts, 0 earned runs up against the Royals. So I mean, there's definitely he has a decent floor, man, but the upside will be limited in that situation. So I wouldn't suggest going all in on him, but I think he's serviceable, man. So I think he's in play. Moving on to the next game, we have the New York Mets versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Matt Harvey versus Matt Garza. Implied run total 4.6 to a 4.5. They're playing in Miller Park, so I'm going to stay away from the pitching. I like the Mets tomorrow, and I also like the Brewers. Matt Harvey hasn't been the same, but I was thinking maybe he has a bit of a narrative streak, like since he's been going through his issue with the suspension. Maybe he comes in, he's focused. Maybe he had a wonderful week at practice, and he comes out and looks to dominate. We all know the Brewers strike out quite a bit. But with that being said, I'm probably still not going to touch Matt Harvey. He's been struggling this season, but I definitely think the bats are in play on this one. Moving on to the next game, we have the Orioles versus the Royals. Implied run total 4.3 to a 4.3. Dead even. We have Dylan Bundy versus Danny Duffy. In this game, I think I'm going to stay away from the pitching. I think we can somewhat attack these pitchers. I wouldn't suggest an all-out stack, but if you want to take some of the best hitters in this game, feel free to do so, man. The word around town is that Baltimore struggles against lefties. Danny Duffy is a solid lefty. He hasn't shown it this year, but last year he was one of the more dominant arms. Really, really nice case stuff. I think the White Sox, man, those 2 games he had against the White Sox really messed with his head, man. Like, they got at him. I know he's frustrated. So I don't know, man. I really don't know about Danny Duffy, but I'm gonna stay away from him. I'm not gonna suggest him. But I could see, man, like I could see somebody rostering him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has a wonderful day tomorrow. I really wouldn't. Going up against the Orioles, who tend to strike out a lot versus lefties. But I think some of these bats are in play. Choose your favorite bats. Feel free. These pitchers are not dominant. They're not going to do anything like a shutout. So some of those bats are definitely in play. Next game, we have the Cubs versus the Cardinals. Implied run total 4.1 to a 4.5. Eddie Butler, I don't know who this guy is, versus Mike Leake are the starting arms for this game. I love the Cardinals tomorrow, man. I want to attack this Eddie Butler guy. Like I said, anytime I see a pitcher that I don't know who he is, and like I said, I watch a lot of baseball, and I feel like I should know most of the starting pitchers in rotations. So I'm guessing maybe he's a call-up or a bullpen guy. Anytime I see that and somebody's getting the first start, I definitely like to target those situations. Not saying that those guys are not good, man, but you know, more times than not, you know, you coming into the big leagues, you're gonna be a little shaky, man. It's gonna be an adjustment period. So I definitely like some of these Cardinal bats. Cardinals have been rolling, by the way, so I think the Cardinal bats are all the way in play. I'm pulling up this guy's game log. Yeah, he's definitely a bullpen pitcher. 2.1 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 earned run. This guy gave up. He pitched 1 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts somehow, but gave up 5 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks. So if the walk rate is kind of high, you know, that's something we definitely want to target. I actually wrote the Cardinals down as one of my stacks. I'll get into that a little later. Moving on to the next game, we have the Dodgers versus the Rockies. Clayton, the GOAT, Kershaw is on the mound versus Tyler Chatwood, who's been pretty decent. This is a Coors game. Y'all know my spiel about Coors. If you can afford them, get them in. This is a tricky one, man, because we have we have the best arm, still in my opinion, even though numbers-wise it's Chris Sale this year. Clayton Kershaw in Coors Slate, man, but I think today or tomorrow we'll see his stroke of genius, man. We'll see why he's as good as he is. I think we can look to target some of these Rocky bats, man. They tend to strike out, but it's always a but to it, man. You got to know everything around what you're doing. The Rockies have been balling. They put up 10 runs tonight. We seen. Dang, I was about to say something else. It was very important, but it just slipped my mind. I forgot, man. I think, well, anyways, man, I lost that thought, but I think Kershaw would be in play. If you want to play him, I'm not going to be opposed to it, but just know anything can happen in Coors, man. Keep that in your mind. And as far as bats go, stack it up, man. If you can afford them, stack them. Next game, we have the Pirates versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. 92 degrees, man. Keep that in mind. We have Tyler Glasnow versus Patrick Corbin. I don't want any of the pitching. I want all of the bats, though. That is definitely going to be one of my game stacks. Implied run total 4.5 to 5.1. I don't know if I said that, but that's pretty high. One of the highest on the night. Next game we have. I'm just stacking this game, man, to be honest. Probably on the Arizona side. Next game we have the Detroit Tigers versus the Angels. The total is not actually out for this one, but we have Jordan Zimmerman versus Matt Shoemaker. I think this game could be quite sneaky, man. I think we'll see Trout get it going. It'll be a second game back. I don't think Zimmerman is anything to be scared of. He used to be a very solid pitcher, but you know, I think we could definitely look to go after him, man. Yeah, that's going to do it for that. I don't like too much in that one. Cincinnati Reds versus the Giants is the last game on the slate. We have Scott Fieldman versus Johnny Cueto, my boy. Implied run total 3.2 to 3.9. I'm all over Johnny Cueto tomorrow. I really like him. He just seen this matchup, but it was in small ballpark. I think in this matchup he striked out 7 batters, which is pretty decent. He'll have the field advantage on this one. And then I like the Giants bats going up against Fieldman. I think they're definitely in play. And yeah, that's gonna do it for my breakdown. So real quick, man, I got about a minute left. I want to give you my top pitching. The top pitching I wrote down is Johnny Cueto. I wrote down Miguel Gonzalez, man. Even though I feel a little iffy about it, I do feel a little iffy. But I think he can be in play tomorrow. Him or Rick Porcello. And then I wrote down Clayton Kershaw, man. I'm going to probably have him in a lineup. My game stacks, these are people I like on both sides. I wrote down a lot of them, man. We have Oakland versus Texas. We have Seattle versus Toronto. Philly versus Washington, mainly on the Washington side. And then we have New York versus Milwaukee. And then Arizona versus Pittsburgh. I just got done talking about that one. Now my top team stacks are going to be Washington, Toronto, Texas, Arizona. That's going to do it, man. Hopefully this video helped. Hopefully we get to the green line. Y'all bless up. I want y'all to have a wonderful day. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to me. Thank you for those of you that watch me. Bless up, man. Let's get it, y'all.